Now, as of the latest available data, intra-African trade accounts for a relatively small percentage of the continent's total trade, typically around 15 to 18%. This is significantly lower than other regions such as Europe and Asia. The intra-African trade, based on the latest figure, it's around 160 to 200 billion dollars annually. With so much potential. Have a look at some of the exports that we are exporting outside of Africa. It is a lot. But the African Continental Free Trade Area initiatives could unlock a massive potential into Africa. It could transform these $200 billion that we are doing amongst ourselves here in Africa to around $450 billion. And this is as per the estimates from the World Bank. So this Africa intra-trade has a massive potential, but of course there are challenges. There are challenges regarding policies. There are challenges regarding the trade facilitation. But with these challenges, or if these challenges could be addressed, we could easily see Africa intra-trade going to 8 trillion rands or $450 billion. In South Africa, we have got this thing, or this deal with the US called AGOA, where we export goods worth $3 billion for free without trade duties, which is something that we need to start implementing these in Africa amongst ourselves. Imagine the number of people that will get out of poverty because of this. We could deal with poverty and obviously start developing and transforming Africa more. Like I said, there have been initiatives. Next month there will be an inaugural African Markets Conference where there will be a mix of policymakers, business leaders, financiers, and government representatives from the continent to chat ways of maximizing our existing ties. This is very important, guys, because like I said, we could potentially unlock, or we could potentially double the value of trade that we are doing in Africa by just introducing, or start of course with the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade. This will bring an impact into Africa as a continent, and this is what we want for Africa. In 2022, China-Africa trade reached approximately $282 billion, making China's Africa's largest bilateral trading partner. And when you look into the European Union, which is Africa's second largest trading partner, our trade volumes exceeded $200 billion annually, with United States trade volume of Africa exceeding $60 billion. India, $100 billion. But in Africa, there is more that we can do amongst ourselves. I can think about some of the things that countries like Nigeria are good at. You know that Nigeria is big when it comes to rice production, right? You can think about such things. And if we start implementing a free trade for Africa, we could unlock quite significant amount of potential each for this continent. Think about you owning a business, and now for you to take your products, some of your products, to another country inside Africa. You are not going to pay duties. This is something that is very, very that could unlock some trade barriers that are in Africa, because there are some people that really want to, of course, tap into the market, but because of the trade barriers, because of the challenges that we have trading or opening this free trade amongst ourselves, we sit with the problem of some people not, or Africa not reaching its full potential. Some of the products that we are getting outside of the continent, we could be getting these products in house or in our lovely continent, which will of course open so many doors, open so many opportunities, which is just massive. World Bank coming in to make this estimate of saying that $450 billion could be potentially unlocked, which is a double or more than a double than the current existing trade volumes, which equates to around $200 billion. This is massive, and it shows you the massive potential that lies within Africa. So I think the initiatives that we are seeing are good. Next month, like I said, there's going to be, of course, a meeting where, of course, various policy makers, business leaders, and government representatives coming to meet. It will potentially, or it will lead into potentially unlocking these trade barriers that are within Africa. So Africa has got a huge potential. Africa can do more if we work together, and this is what will make us stronger. We need to start implementing these things. Currently, time and again, we face issues where countries outside of Africa, they would want to, of course, dictate some of the things that happen in Africa. And the more we do business with each other, the more we grow stronger. I mean, there is a significant potential of the African free trade area. This has got a massive potential. I mean, economic growth and poverty reduction, trade expansion, wage gains, diversification and industrialization. Yes, there are challenges, but obviously these will unlock a massive potential to Africa. Our inter-trade in Africa, it's supposed to be more than Asia and Europe and the others, right? Our trade volumes are supposed to be more, which is something that is very important, something that I believe that in Africa we could do more. I mean, recently in South Africa, we're reading the news of South Africa and China getting to a two-way trade volume, or their trade volumes exceeding $52 billion for the year 2024, which is something that is good, right? But I think there is more that we can do for ourselves here in Africa. Yes, we are not saying we should do away with business outside of Africa. We should not do business with Asia and Europe, but amongst ourselves here in Africa, there is more that we can do. We could actually take our trade volumes to $450 billion or 8 trillion rand, which that is the most important thing we should be striving to reach, because with that it will make Africa stronger, it will reduce poverty, it will increase wage gains, which is something that, of course, it will unleash Africa's full potential. Poverty in Africa is one of the things that is honestly dealing with our continent, and it's quite sad to see the poverty that's in Africa. And one of the ways that we could deal, or we could start dealing with this poverty, it's of course opening doors for free trade, right? Free trade, it's very important. Free trade, it's what will take majority of our people out of poverty. So yeah, man, I just thought I come and give you this quick update. Tell me what you think about this. These are some of the things that we have been seeing, or we are seeing in Africa. And as stated by the World Bank, I will say it again, the massive potential that could be unlocked by free trade in Africa, or in the African continent, could double the kind of trade volumes that we are sitting at the moment, which shows you the massive potential that lies within Africa economic landscape. Like this video, subscribe. Once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell, so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. I'll see you on the next one, and God bless you all.